that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. You see it, Wilson? He yelled, his tense voice reverberating.
I would love to see you stream that. That's actually one of my favorite ones.
Shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
Aw, that sucks.
I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Turn this one up. This one's actually a bit quieter. Sucks.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what
There
events
he is.
led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me.
It's Konami. They kind of suck.
The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Hold on, this is
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world.
Go ahead.
Sherlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
I love this man. I already know it. Hold on, I'm waiting for the cutscene to end. My goodness. Only logical, right? That we get blamed for murder twice in a row? Because you all know it's me. You all know it was me in that closet. Blamed for murder twice. God, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? Because they think you murdered someone. You wake up now, Please tell me that was... Nope, that was not who I thought it was. Never mind. We had to drag you out to the wardrobe. Can't do. Was their accent German? Because I can't do it. I couldn't tell what their accent was. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You... Ah, you found me then. Ah, we found you. Now you pay. Criminal. I don't know what accents I'm trying to do, but it's failing. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one. Please tell me this is Sholmes. I can't keep guessing the voices. There's only one thing I'd like to know. That. Nope, not Sholmes. God dang it. Stop putting the question marks when I know the characters' names. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato! Life did I? Oh no, I know whose life it is. I've seen this part. Wait, what did you say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Yep, this is what I thought it was. Haha, you pretend you do not know. You're a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. How do you end up getting blamed for murder twice? How are you this unlucky? Now it's your boyfriend. It'd be more fun to explain. Where was it? What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Is his body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Really, you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. I didn't. His boyfriend would never do that. Clearly not me. Too much anguish over a boyfriend. God dang it, I liked him too. I was hoping that was gonna take longer. 4 weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Did you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? I don't know, you could have bought a fucking ticket and a passport. Thank you for the host, kitty. It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case on the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. Oh my god, you were inside the case? What is wrong with you two? What is wrong with you two? You're so weird. Well, thank you for the host. Hello, kitty. Really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. I mean, I'm flexible. You must be even less of a man than you look. Kazuma! You are so you wanted this. You asked for me to be a stowaway, apparently. Don't start this shit with me today. You just died. Don't do this in a flashback. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, you're both stupid. It was about 50 days until we docked in Great Britain. But if you can confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. I have questions. Why did you not just get a passport, buy a ticket, and go with him? You don't need to be an exchange student to go visit another country. And they're Himboics. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. They're Russian. Okay, that's the accent I need. I can do Russian. I thought they were German for a second. I'm much better with Russian than German. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No. But if she knew what we'd done... I'm sorry, what else have you done? I mean, you stuffed me in a closet. I have questions. That would make her guilty by association. Just only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. God. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. You won't be back in the closet! Anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "peep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. The closet! I don't know. I mean, it's what happened. Let's see, for about 15. How can this have happened? We're supposed to be going on this adventure to England. Together. I know. Your boyfriend died. We're distraught. Okay. Well, now Russian doesn't want to come to me. I do Russian by accident. And now my brain can't think of what Russian sounds like. Believe... I'm just gonna read. I can't right now. My brain apparently can't process what Russian sounds like. Can't. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make trouble for yourself. Murderer! No, I'm not a murderer. Ah, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend... Oh, I thought it was the other guy. Too late for me to do switching accents. No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. That's not Russian. That's not Russian. Yes, she is. But she doesn't have a Russian accent. And I haven't seen the movie yet with her Russian friends. Trying to like whisper it to myself what Brute says to me when he does fake Russian accents, and it's not helping. I'm coming off as like a fucking vampire when I do Russian. But it's not helping. Sato-san. Please, tell me what happened. Russian but not Russian. Got it. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Oh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me! Yeah! Susato, you destroyed him! This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. Can we get Sholmes back? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna end up calling him Sherlock Holmes, but his name is Herlock Sholmes. And I'm gonna mess it up. It's the same character, but they mix the letters around. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Wait. Kazuma's death. That's what's important. My boyfriend died. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? Again? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? Oh no, she's not in prison. She didn't go to prison. She got taken to a different country that has immunity. She didn't go to prison. She escaped going to prison by going back to England, I think. I think it was she went back to England. So her swan is fine. When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. Yeah, as I say, I've seen Crystal play, so I know more about her, but I'm trying not to spoil anything for Jumpy. Because I already knew that Kazuma died, I just didn't know it was this early. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been someone inside this cabin. Liked her until she was racist. Yeah. Yeah, fair. Or do you have some other explanation? Once they show the favorite scene, I'm gonna start using it as a fucking alert. There's this guy that likes to throw his leg up on the table, and I love him. And I want to use that as a fucking alert. But I want them to show it in the game first. This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? I'm gonna make her sound so angry. Please, Suzabistan, you have to tell me. My boyfriend died. Why are you blaming me? Yes. The cause of death is still undetermined. You don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. Oh yeah? Have planned for tomorrow? So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. She is so mean to me right now. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... that sounds like good plans. He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Did that mean he was already dead when Suzato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wondered? I knocked, but there was no reply. I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. That's also a good choice. The crewmen forced the door open and we managed to get inside. My friend! There was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. The white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me, too. Trust me. Now, I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruto-san? God, Jesus, fuck, it's been too long already. You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? Oh, he knew! He knew! He knew! Obviously, I mean, come on. Boyfriend. Oh. No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why did you want this? What's the real reason? To make out with you while he's in England. What the fuck do you think, bitch? Come on. Keep up. Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? You ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Your fanfiction is to make out with you in the closet, obviously! I mean, he was hiding in the closet. We can make some closet jokes. He made that decision. Actually, Kazuma made that decision for him. Fanfiction meets the real story. But that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world. In many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level. Oh. If you were to become a lawyer, then... Then what? Nothing. No, tell me! No! Tell me! Forget it, okay. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes, then. Darker than I've ever seen it before. Absolutely. Isn't this main character the ancestor of the actual Ace Attorney guy? That's what I've heard. You got me doing it! Yes! That's what these games are for! Join in, Jumpy! From Suzato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean. I know Kazuma-sama. I expect he was trying to protect me. To avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. You're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, thing is, we got a little overboard with some fun stuff, and then I passed out of the closet, and then something else happened that I don't know. Don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes? I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do. But it's the truth! If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? She's like, wait, you didn't murder him, maybe? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Sato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. The trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Oh. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? This have to happen. I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. Not going? You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. You can't allow that to happen. So I gotta defend myself again! Sorry. Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. Now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied. You don't have to keep doing this. I know you have handcuffs on. Please. Well, whoever did this walks free. No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, how and why they did it. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. I'm sorry, Did she just punch him? What the fuck just happened? She just ninja chopped this man or something. Jesus fucking Christ. I love her. But oh my god. That was Susanoo takedown. This girl really named her fucking move after herself. Susanoo what? What martial art form is that? That's the surprise, bitch. I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it. Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to? Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah. He's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susanoo-san to believe me. And not punch me again. Or whatever she did to me. Yes, bitch. The paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember working really hard? What? It's a piece of paper that says keep out. I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. You expect the Russian crew to be able to read that, he said? Still, I was sure people would get the idea even if they couldn't read it. He said anyway. No, Susanoo's special. I already liked Susanoo the first time. Susanoo has special energy for me. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors. You can see the remnants of the glue we used. Okay, so he couldn't have gotten out if there's glue. Although it wasn't proper glue. Of course, we didn't have any of that with us. I was about to ask, what the fuck did you just use? I pulverized some rice into a paste to use. Go away like me, every single grain. Rice represents precious ration. I spread it as thinly as I possibly could. I couldn't bear to waste any.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. Yeah, he couldn't have done that himself. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. Naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course! The gentleman who discovered you peeled that side of the wardrobe doors before you opened it. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the side of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor because you hit me! I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. I can... Sure, he liked me sprawled on the floor, too. Just, okay. It's that kind of energy. I got this shot today and my energy's like, oh, it's up in the roof. So much energy. Yush. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? He hit this man so hard he could not get back on his feet. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you. Do you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. Well, I can use magic now? What's happening? What does she think I am, a magician? I'm barely a lawyer, okay? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as you possible in here. Jelly? You okay? Okay. They slamming stuff. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susanoo-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you. Make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence for example. I'm not a fucking magician wizard. What the fuck do you think I am capable of? I barely was able to defend myself last time. I have zero experience in anything. And I'm an idiot. Come on. Right. He thinks that I am so magical. I've done everything I can. Kazuma, I swear. I will avenge your death. Oh, hello, Cut, you just appeared and it scared the books have fallen over the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. We are on a ship. And what's this? Statue of some god of the sea. Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost like the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything moved out at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-san was doing sword training, don't you think? Which all? I seriously doubt it. And perhaps it was you, Naru-san, in a fit of rage. Wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Its true power can be unleashed. The way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with it, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. No, no, no! Don't mess this. This is part of a crime. She's like, I'm gonna make sure you don't mess with the crime scene. She immediately messes with the crime scene. Here, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susanoo-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look at them properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard. Are you, Naruto-san? Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, let's do that. Passage for travel aboard. Essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in cabins. Literally, my boyfriend's sword is on the floor. Point that out. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a No! Girl went hard on that question. I am indeed a pet. Meow. Oh my god. This girl. Oh. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure either way. I wasn't supposed to be in here. So you're not questioning the pet stuff. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the secret crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. It's coming to me. Wait, I had Russian for 1 second during that. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. I had it for a second. It sounds like half fucking Romanian, half Russian. I can't... but I had it for a second. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. You might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Doll lady? Yet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I'm getting it. I don't know why I struggled on the first couple of things. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. You could! It just slides across you, but you won't have to, because in this game I'm probably gonna do so. It just slides across. I know you're gonna get Russian, you're gonna get English, and you're gonna get whatever Van Zeeks is. Probably Romanian, because he looks like a vampire, so I'm gonna give him a vampire accent. Not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut, but still. The door bolted, there would be no way to get in and out of the cabin. I'm too mad. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to bolt across from outside of the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. Well, lady... I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Peggy, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Well, I wouldn't know about straight. Maybe correct that set, but the true part, sure. I don't know. Herlock Sholmes is his name. I'm waiting for him to appear. Just waiting. He was already in here. He was the guy that was investigating. But he hasn't come back. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing you drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Sound like a child. Even though you stowed away on this ship? Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Sword. It's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Burlap combs. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. I'm not ready to let his spirit go just... That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate it at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-san didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. We didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no! Does that mean? Poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? Just too horrible. Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Nothing on this table at all. The plates and the cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. Wow, she assumes because I can't remember it means I murdered someone. Thank you. No, 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 no! What do you think this is. It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Natsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like that around with him, would he? No, he would have boldly carried it around. And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. But I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his fingers in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. He was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments. What? Sorry, partner. I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruto. What? Then what language is it? Pains me to admit it, but I don't know. Well, Sholmes. I had to think of his name. I was gonna say Sherlock, because it's not his name. He said it was Russian, and the little bit I know of Russian, it does look like Russian letters. Not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What do you mean, I wonder? That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories from me. Fucking damn it. Memories? What do you mean? Padlocked hole. That's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Hindsight, I should have realized the German wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. It means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? See what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Did she just hit me again? I looked at chat for 1 second. Girl. Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. I'm going to stop me. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? My god, girl. Alright, I won't read it. At this moment. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Not if she's gonna punch you. Just kidding. Go this way. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruto-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. Last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in the book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. I don't know, I'm sure it's that everyone is busy, that's all. Also, this is the room of a murder! I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, I think it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way when the seas are rough. Or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. What is this man doing? You can't do that! You can't do that! You can't do that! That's illegal. What are you doing? Oh, good sir. Sholmes, what are you doing? As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. He's British for sure. Oh, how did he? You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall? So we're already starting on the next crush. I can see it. New boyfriend! Naruto-san, don't tell me. You really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the... There's something very unusual about him. He's investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? Can't tell. Well, in that case, you must simply talk with him. I'm just imagining it, or does Susada-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expected you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press X on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Thank you for breaking the fourth wall. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. You're very focused on this man's height. Oh, please do. Ups up, okay. What are you doing, Sholmes? Excuse me. Excuse me? You have a moment? Shh. It's a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. It's a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. God. Hi! Great. Oh god, I didn't even get to read it! Game, slow down. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. I've been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. You are so mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh. Well, that's true, at least. But how? Oh, the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? Oh my god, he didn't actually come up with anything that isn't obvious, except for the Afghanistan thing, which he threw out of fucking nowhere. great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being, as you are, merciless revolutionary. Nope. No. No. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. No. 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 And when the what is that word? What is that? Be-ribboned. Oh, be-ribboned because of his ribbon. That word. I've never seen anyone write that word before. And it caught me off guard. When the be-ribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No, you are wrong. Incorrect. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, aren't you? Certainly I am. What are you doing? You see another in this cabin who fits the bill. A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-san. No? What? And you're plotting a revolution too? No. It's shameful behavior, Naruto-san. Absolutely wicked. No, God, she's gonna punch me again, isn't she? Oh, God! Oh, I didn't do anything! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. Ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, oh God, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you know? Well, yes, maybe. Oh, there you have it, you see? What do you make of that, You got one thing right. Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles. See, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. Ah, I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. I almost said his name wrong, god damn it. I almost said Sherlock Holmes again. It's gonna be so hard for me not, because Sherlock Holmes is one of my favorite characters. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. The very same, the inimitable, actual Sherlock Holmes. I wonder why they did Sherlock Holmes, because it's not... He's Sherlock... Well, actually, I was gonna say it's open for people to use, but his family can still tell you no to things. Like, you could still use it, but his you don't have to pay royalties or anything, but his family can still get mad if you don't do it the right way. So I guess maybe it makes it easier to give him a different name. You know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruto-san? Of course I do. Oh gosh, I hate that. I hate it. There is nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? You must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out this entire case already. No, he hasn't worked out a goddamn... Have you not been listening? Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Can I examine? Nope, nope. Oh, I wanted to examine his pretty face. Look at this man. Not a glorious man. detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. Never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. Read so many of your own stories you started to think you're a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Just backward, not backwards? Backward. My trusty biographer records my greatest deducting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. I have a biographer. Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I told you they were connected. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. What is this? What is this? This man. My arm hurts when I do that. I don't know why I keep doing it. By this very moment, I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really, can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, to me is a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. Science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. Like the music for him. Purity of grab, a twitch of the muscle, slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, spheros in the skin. All of these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail... Oh my god, sorry. The accent just disappeared. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. And as I demonstrated only a few short moments ago, how can you look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Yes. Absolutely. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow! What do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This man... Ah, I see. In other words... I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Cosmosama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, and luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. You have to say your name 25 times. I know who you are. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Man. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really, two facts, you say? Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. But what were they? Allow me to elucidate. For that word. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. What is he? What? Number 2! What is this? That's not what I expected him to do. 2! This is a 2. What is this? What are you doing? This man. Number 2, the victim was Russian. No, he wasn't Russian! And killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. Just because it's in Russian doesn't make him Russian. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In the final moments, many find their native tongue feeling bad, but this young man, Russian. Kazuma was he? Initially, I considered Godbrov, in the name of killer, a certain Robert God, perhaps. The Rock counts? Oh, I don't ever think I've ever seen him count. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruto sleeping soundly. Quite so! Applies motions. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. No. No, I've never seen that. Kelly does weird things. She'll go like 1, 2, 3. Or I go 1, 2, 3. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. But not Russian. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian... Nope, it's Japanese. Japanese. It's a Japanese school uniform. Are school uniforms the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. He's talking out of his ass, girl. He's a kind of a fucking dumb. Like, he's really smart, but he's also a fucking dumb. I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Kazuma... This... Taken immediately... Oh god, I thought this was... She's gonna punch him. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered. Before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. The first time I've actually seen him like... You alright, Mr. Naruto? Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, we got the crime scene. Hold on, we gotta look at the photograph of the crime scene. Does not give me anything right now. Okay. Thought I would examine that. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing Russia and all that? Ah, yes. The train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me? Do you think? Also, does he know what a Russian accent sounds like? Because Ryunosuke is Japanese. And they give him kind of an English accent, but I think that's because he spends time in England. But like, he doesn't... Do you know what... There's Russians on the ship! Do you not know what Russian sounds like? I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian. And I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean? Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Oh yes, the more solar details. It was fairly commonplace deduction. No, that's not what I'm talking about! Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads... Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call into Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. When was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same mercenary revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him escape after her identity was discovered. Yes, you. Villain Bolshevik. Nope, buddy. No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. About the other details, the 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in his article. The deeds the man had perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? What about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn Afghanistan. I can talk. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Oh my god, you don't know where Afghanistan is? Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Thank you. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. Back? Yeah, I'm curious now. Curious now. They basically just told me. I wanted to make sure I looked at it. Look at the rest of this man's face and look at this man's face. They do not match up. Did she just accuse him of liking to see pretty women photos? God, this girl. Wait, did she just hit someone? What happened? He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Schultz. Polina Pavlova. Her Russian name's so hard to remember. A lot. Maybe not unbelievable some, but a lot. I'm going to take you find out where there were response? He's just like, you stupid! I did cast my eye over it. I mean, I already did. I am way ahead of you, game. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. You notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Oh, gotta look at the name before I just choose an accent. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. I got punched last time. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the actor reads. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. And yet you were so sure he's Russian, but you read fucking Japanese over here. Oh, I see. You're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Watch her not hit him at all. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruto-san. What on earth do you mean? Fucking girl. Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as the author will cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to detail. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, Makoto. Nado. I trust you are suitably impressed. No, I'm not. I know more Japanese than you. Jesus fucking Christ. I like this man so much though, but he's so fucking stupid. Jesus fucking Christ. Why are you this way? But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, which I can read precisely none. Me either! I can't read kanjis. They're hard. Are you alright? What was all the show talk about before then? You would be so kind as to show me. I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here is Kazuma-sama's diary, consisting of sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. To charge my controller? A whistling sound? The very deep waters. Pray, go on. Second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator. Speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say. Band was presumably for grill that I learned earlier. That thing. The lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary's been tricky. Record. Wait. Something new. Just checking, okay? Okay, cool. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diaries have piqued my interest. The matter wants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness. No! Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence, the truth will become clear soon enough. Think perhaps that we could go with you? No. That would be somewhat complicated. But why? Better now than tomorrow. That's true. A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Thanks, buddy. Oh, please. How are you forgetting? After all, you're the prime subject in this matter. No suspect, not suspect. I can talk. No point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you have the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. Mean. What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Yes. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. That insults. Naruto-san, what are you just standing there for? You must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can— Hiya! After Kazuma-san spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just gonna roll over and accept your fate? Oh, now you guys are just being mean to me. Ugh. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. We still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip forward. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. Bring the real culprit to justice. Damn, you shouldn't throw your friend! That? Something wrong, Naruto-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I have a feeling like I've seen him somewhere. Is that the coughing man? Is that the man that coughs up blood? Oh, yes. You're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. That's the coughing up blood man, isn't it? Yes, what can I do for you? 100%. What the fuck? I recognize that face, but it can't be. Fucking Christ. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? Why haven't you gone to a hospital? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped. Oh god, hospital! Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew aboard this ship. You were dead. No. He's just continuously gonna cough up blood. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless hospital. Go to the hospital. I also thought Shigeharu was in jail. Yep, nope. special orders this time, Inspector. Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? Bowing to me. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Chikoku. God, words? Names? Hard. Who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead? And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even been a possibility? I'm not sure. These are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jikoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. Incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Why, I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. Failed miserably at my assignment. Asogi-san is dead as a result. Man needs a hug. I'm a disgrace. This man needs a hug! All I can do is humbly apologize. Vector. Do that too. If there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. Thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, we need to be allowed out of this cabin. Sorry. What? Been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. Stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. Oh my, we're not worried about someone else committing murder? I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. You think I'm a murderer as well. Could it be possible? Give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something precise. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to, but I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? That's how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, no? Representing me with a piece of evidence. I know. Evidence. Just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the piece of evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can do. I mean, I feel like it had to be with the ventilator. Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. Ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin. That's right, so if we can investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. Can't leave this cabin at the moment. Stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I got this man. I'm a man of my word. I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Boogie-san safe. Least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruto-san. Let's move when you leave this cabin at last. Fourth wall breaking is fun. Ooh, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. Less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Cosmo-san was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. I did. I said it was fun. Even still, it's about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Man who was in a wardrobe. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs? It would. Naruto-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you've been used to a ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know. But the thing is, I was inside Cosmo's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. Must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Okay. Over here. You're gonna yell at me. Your accommodation is confined to the wall of the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? All is the wardrobe I've been calling home. Cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? A lot. You're on a ship. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. Wait, did you not have cheese in Japan during this time period? Excuse me? It's made from the milk of cows. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. You guys don't have cheese? You guys didn't have cheese in Japan during this time? Period? Oh, that's so sad! Cheese is the best thing on earth! You can't eat it, Naruto-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. I was about to say Kazuma-sama without even fucking blinking. It's not, but he doesn't call him Sama because they're best friends and lovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Or you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Treating him like a puppy. Oh. It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? It's an alarm bell. That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. Looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship, and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh. This I have to see. What are you doing, Naruto-san? You mustn't touch it! This fucker really was gonna do this. What's wrong with him? But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. To bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, we'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. The ship included. You have to do something foolish. At least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. If you're gonna be dumb, just be dumb to yourself. This is it. The cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he's a speckled band emerging. Maybe who's ever in the cabin can help solve this particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh, hello. Oh, excuse me. We, need to get inside this cabin here? The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. What I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe door. Man's version is definitely more effective. Doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. That's a problem. This looks like a plan. Shows each deck, look. Uria is a large-scale steamship with triple-skinned hull. A marvel of engineering. It's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruto-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan. Yes, they're not metal. They are enormous lumps of earth. Many, many times larger than this ship. You do realize that islands don't float on top of water. Right? I hope she's not going to say they float on top of water, because that's not how islands work. They don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created... Islands don't float! They don't just sit on top of the water. That's not how islands work. They have parts of the earth that connect. Don't just float. That's not how it works. Well, I suppose so. Friends was chumps. Huge book on the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. Reaction at all. Thought he might appreciate the compliment. That's a big gay, buddy. Complimenting a man's handwriting. Gay. Not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment. Sailor. No, the compliment was beautiful handwriting, girl. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. He's gonna shoot me, but we would end up dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there? No, I started it with my talk of running away. There's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Hey, you wanna talk, buddy? Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer? Yep, me. That wasn't a good start, was it? All right, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you. I can't. Talking's going downhill very fast. But could I perhaps ask something? You little third-class lady's maid? Rude. Oh, seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman. Beef stroganoff! I couldn't keep it. Oh no. Oh no. Beef stroganoff. Oh no. What are the names in this game? You know how to fix it? Pattern fix pockets of palindrome. I said it. I had no problem with that one. Mr. Stroganoff, about the first-class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Burro Steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important person? Government official, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. Samurai Rock. No. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering. Cabin next to Mr. Sobi is currently occupied. What is that word? Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like, yeah. I think it's probably Russian for yes. I had a feeling he probably wasn't. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes. Tantalizing. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. His name is Mr. Grimsby Rolot. Oh god, he's very important Western gentleman. Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Rolot is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly students from insignificant Far East islands. Oh, wow! Everyone's so rude to Japanese people in this game. That was harsh. Can you tell us when Mr. Rolot came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time. I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important, is that right? That is not your business. Are you a watcher all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Ah, all time, so criminals like you cannot come in, or get out. I wonder, did you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. Did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Hit! Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. You didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? You're doing the weird thing where you look to the side. I said no! Sorry! Not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch an eye for a moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh, it is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second-class area, staying locked at all times. To escape when lobster whistles on top of mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly. Definitely. looked at this, but it didn't have a check next to it. Now it has the check. Okay. The door now? First. There we go. No answer. We're out of bucket seat. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What's that? It came from inside the cabin. A high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Got to break the door down. Hello? Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. The fit is on me. I revel in kicking doors off the hinges. Please wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? Muscular urge, huh? What the fuck is wrong with you? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Ooh, who are you? Wait, is this the American or is... No, this is the Russian guy! Who are you? Western gentleman? The man looks Russian to me. Oh, is he Western? We're giving him a West. Okay, American accent. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True. The old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsley Warlord, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. I assure you, you may trust me completely. This man. I really would love to have this outfit, though. Look at this extravagant fucking coat. A man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there would appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be bold to ask you to open that small traveling case? Oh, don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruto? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now, otherwise, I'll call the steward. You have scissors. I don't trust detectives. They uncover my dirty deeds. No doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something. Okay. Couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Hi. I'm gonna look up. What are you doing? You know what? I don't want to discuss this with you right now. Actually, I do. What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin. Get out! Have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No. Ah. What a pity. We're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything we can do. I agree. Maybe someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Robot. Hey, what are you doing, buddy? Do you have a moment, please, Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. I did! I mean, I said Mr. But it's what I just said, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe while waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on, for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Ball, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what his most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are exclusively for the Russians. Right. Imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed. Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Don't fuck this up, Sholmes. Well then, what you're about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. You're dramatic. Would this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? Time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubitance? You're not as great as Eric. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes? I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting. But I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize that free of all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence! Oh god, he's thinking. Hey, why are you peering in my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Relot, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. Number one, your true identity. That of a villain. Using those shields, we're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ah! Oh, Naruto-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sherlock's great deductions with my own eyes. Gizzards! That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What? Ineffable twaddle? Oh, yes. I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced an astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true! I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Robot's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well, then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. You literally just said elucidate. You don't need to explain what elucidate means. I know. do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us bold the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us walk through my deductions together. Oh. What is happening? What is happening? No, the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roulant obviously catches the eye in the first place. He's the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now moving on. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roulant. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Village that East Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decide to remove your incriminating facial hair and pave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Leland Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, Now as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing the most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roulant. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Yes! The answer we seek lies where the figurative glance falls, conscience. Proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be inside, we ask? By my estimation, can't talk, a young lady, perhaps? One slight enough to fit therein. Poor girl. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. You're not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Candace law betrays you. Go all? I hope I said that right. I just went with it. Once again, we need only follow your figurative glance to find the answer. The lady on the back of the newspaper. Yes, the reason you refused to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. But there was another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novelet Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime, not abduction. According to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elementary. Were you trying to say that elementary in Russian? I don't think that's the word. Masato-san, that wasn't one of the greatest deductions. Oh, was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Shulman's brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? It's your ass over here, boy. Right, what can I do for you? About your deductions, would you mind? Not at all, go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we've had the same discussion before, but... These two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you. The man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Alot doesn't look more like this man than you do. That's not the point! And another thing. Oh god, and another thing! The part about him adopting the ballerina? Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard! I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, she's 15, and 10 years worth of her would be poking out of the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain lithness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Well, the whole thing is turning into a circus. Naruto, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. What, that they're... Oh god, girl. His powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Mr. Sato. It's just one or two keywords in his deductions that seem to let him down. I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully look for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. Man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? What the fuck did you... Ow! Ah! Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in awe. Dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. That's just gonna flip off one of these times. Don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried, in fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. With this man. Course corrections. Course correction? I can't do this. What if it's not to cut the beard, but to cut the paper? No, you use it to cut the paper. it's probably the newspaper. Newspaper. Your nose off. Oh, is it? Buttons? I want you to take a deep breath and look at this from a fresh perspective, Narissa. He's handled it very good. I want down. Oh, you can. Okay, you can move. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't the newspaper.
Yes!
You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Why did you not just say it then, you buck? Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman. Judging from the length and sheen of your hair. I'm still very much in her youth. No. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question that begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Though it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity. The article about the revolutionary. The ballet girl. Oh my god. Look like you're in your element as you dance around the room introducing the facts with Mr. Just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. Strictly business. Yes, I know who it is.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Norfolk Ballet. This is Shanghai. English accent makes me not want to pronounce things properly. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Oh, the scissors better not have fallen on you. Oh no! They did! Oh Jesus! Don't do that. I don't like the way that looked. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But she's Russian still, though. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Just going English. I apparently don't want to do Russian right now. It's fine. Now as for my second conclusion. You all, at this very moment, on the brink of committing the most grievous crime. No, not this. Nope, you're wrong now. Yeah? Oh, good job. But the tiara thing. Thievery. Stop it. There it is. What? Yes, we know exactly what this is.
Yes!
Proof of your crime is surely that this tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the No Bitch Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. If the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no! Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking the precious tiara with you. I have no one, no family, no friends. I'm all alone and need money. But I did not steal the tiara. The present from, how do you say, Echo? Russia. It belongs to me. Girl's only 15. Probably all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point in hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You staunchly refuse to open this traveling case that follows yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention, except everything important. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I've ever laid eyes on them. Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'eau betrays you. Once again, we only need to follow your fugitive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written on the books on the shelf. Change Tapman's deduction now. Oh, no, I think he's being an idiot. I assume she has a pet in her case because it moved. Has to be it because it moved. Has to be a pet.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case. Read in the rules of passage. Passengers will not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its content. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item will move on its own accord. Leaves but one possibility this puppy. Hide your traveling case. The last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet! That was really gay. The truth just hurts. It punches you, apparently. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Verlot. My real name is Nicolina Pavola. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company performances in order to escape your homework. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Couldn't have been easy. Hurry has a huge, vast crew. But you really snuck on board without being noticed. To obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. You intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. Though, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out that scream we heard from outside the cabin? A veritable tinkling of a bell. Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like full foot of pipes, if you ask me. So scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. So I decided to, how do you say, just to myself, disguise yourself, honey. Guys, honey. No one will recognize me. Result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. See. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. So frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. I decided to cut all my hair out as fast as possible. Picked up the scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the door. Annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Sorry, I thought you were gonna just say door. Didn't realize you're still holding a grudge you didn't get to kick it in. happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Those two even talking about the same. There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What pet do you have? What exactly do you have inside your traveling kit? You were right. It's my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone if the captain finds out. If you say to any of the crew, the secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night. Yes, alright. Tell you. Was it Sholmes' great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. At least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. The handcuffs back on. A bitch. Ah, your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. No. Sorry to say, can't be helped at the moment. Haha. Can't it? Really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. Can't go on not knowing. Have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote in the bar's diary really was. Perfect spot. Stop. We'll leave it here. We may do it tomorrow. We'll do some In Sound Mind and then some more of this. But now, bye!